everybody. We'll wait a few minutes here for some people to chime in and catch up or whatever. Let's get to the comments here. All right. It's my normal time, 7 o'clock. And I try to keep it on schedule, but it's kind of hard because I work and I'm tired. But you see the paper seat that I made for it. We have to put the cockpit floor in it now, and this will turn out very nicely. I'll go ahead and glue that with some CA, and then we'll paint it. But tonight I'm going to put in the cockpit floor because I still don't have it in there. He's just sitting on a sponge. We might as well start getting it sorted out. I wish this was a little bit lighter. It's I've got him hollowed out pretty darn good, best I can. It was a $20 pilot. I don't want to tear him up too bad. If you look here, I've got him hollowed way out. But I've got the seat back made. We'll go ahead and put in the I took that seat back apart that I made last night, retraced it, recut it, and made it so it fits. That will glue in just like so. Get back there. And the pilot will sit back like yay. Of course, we'll have to put a headrest on it. I don't want to get too, like I say, too carried away with details because you can get pretty heavy. I need to re-trim this canopy. If you look here, it's down in the back. So how I'm going to do that is with, let's see here. Let me get the light on here so I can see what I'm not doing. Got that light on. I'll turn this one on over here. We got any regulars on tonight? Seems like anymore I don't get any chat. I'd like to get a lot of chat going. Well, let's not monkey with that. Let's get the floor cut. I can always retrim this canopy. Put him away for safekeeping. Back in his box. And we don't need this right now. Hey, good evening, Chris. Alex, Miguel. All right. I wish this rudder was a little lighter, but I really like the detail of it. It's all this stuff is just heavy. It's just heavy stuff. Let me take this off so I don't screw it up. I still need to belt the floor here, the stabilizer floor. We'll do that with a piece of 1/8 inch. So I'll show you how that works. I'll do that now while I'm thinking about it. I don't glue my stabilizer in until after the top's on so that it can move around, back and forth. This because when you pull that top down, it tends to twist the fuselage. Of course, this one's pretty solid now that the pipe tunnel's in it and it's all locked up. But I'm going to need to put a floor on this. So we'll get a ruler here and we'll measure a piece of 1/8 inch and get it cut out. I know I was supposed to do cockpit stuff, but I need to do this too. There's so much work to do, it's ridiculous. So it's 1 5/16 there to 7/8. 1 5/16 to 7/8. And we need a piece of 1/8 inch for that light 1/8 inch. Do I have a piece? 24 grams. That's pretty substantial. Better get a pen and mark this. 1 5/16. 1 5/16. And we'll measure back 2 inches. Like I say, the reason why I'm doing this is I built so many of these that I know the ins and outs of what breaks and what doesn't. 3/4. No, it's actually less than that. 15/16. Yeah. 3/4. 15/16. 1 5/8. And 15. 1 5/16 and 15/16. 15/16 at 2. So I need to cut a piece of wood here. I'll do that on my cluttered bench. I guess there's just no place to set anything, so I'm always having to move something. Two inches. 2 inches. I use a square. We're coming up on 3 months old on this airplane now. Okay, so I want to draw a center line on this piece of wood. Got to keep this straight. Center line, bingo. I probably could glue that on there. What did I do with my little map? I lost my map already. 1 5/16 I know was the 15/16. 1 5/16. Okay. 1 5/16 divide by 2 equals 21 30-seconds on each side. 21 30-seconds. Fortunately, I have a 30-second ruler. 21 see here, 21 30-seconds. 21 and of course the darn thing reads backwards. 21 30-seconds. And I said 5/16 or 15/16. 15/16 divided by 2. 15 30-seconds. 15 30-seconds. So we got 12, 13, 14, 15 right there. 15 right there. Don't look right, but we'll see. Calculator don't lie, I don't think. Now, with any luck, this should fit in perfect. If it doesn't, I'll have to make a new one or sand it one. It's perfect. Now we need to see if there's any interference. Nope. Did it move? Nope. Okay, we got belting now. That will keep the tail from breaking. I had stress cracks. I had a lot of problem with the Thunderbolt back there because this stabilizer is, I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's 28 inches long, and there's not much fuselage back here holding this big long thing, and it, you know, the harmonic balancing and all that other garbage that goes on. This is 27 inches in span. Not as big as some, but the fuselage is smaller than most back here. So we need to wick some CA in there. We'll get that straightened out, and then I'll measure out for the cockpit floor. Where is my glue? This is ridiculous. There ain't no way I can get a bigger apartment out of these guys I work for. Where's the glue? If I had to pay for this, I wouldn't. Hey, Jim. Oh, no. Oh, no. I knew he was sick. They put him in a nursing home, but oh, that's too bad. Let me, where's my mouse? Right here. Let me tell you about my friend Jim there is saying that Jerry Phelps passed away. Jerry Phelps was the designer of a plane called the Patriot. He flew the opposite direction, and I mean, the guy was a super good builder from the 50s. Good evening, Donald. And he covered everything with Japanese tissue. They were finished par excellence. But that's not Jerry Phelps's claim to fame. Jerry Phelps would show up with a beautiful wood box at the contest. Beautiful carpentry on this wood box. And I said, Jerry, what's in that? He said, pies. He made the best pies of anybody. There was nobody could make a pie like Jerry Phelps. So let's all hope that we know that Jerry's in a better place, but we'll miss Jerry a lot. So say a prayer for our pal Jerry Phelps. Okay, I'm going to show you what I did there. I'll try to get the camera in there close so that you can see what belting's about. Well, if you ever met him, you had a piece of his pie, you'd know it. Okay, we got a floor in here that this stabilizer is going to sit on. This makes the oh, I cracked it. I didn't get enough glue on it. This makes this incredibly stiff back here with not a whole lot of extra weight. I mean, that couldn't have weighed, but and then we got one other little point of business to take care of back here, and then we're good to go. So if you look right in there, I don't know how much you can see in there, but the push rod clear. That's why I checked operation of everything. Make sure that everything's free. That won't go anywhere. Okay, I want to go across here with a piece of 1/8 inch. Of course, this is another one of them deals. Now you ask, why am I doing this? Well, the way that I have built this fuselage with the top shell sitting down, the bulkheads are already glued into the top skin. And they're close. But I want to make sure that there's 100% contact between the top and the bottom. So I'm going to do an 1/8 inch here because of this stabilizer, but I'll put 1/16 inch on every one of these, about 1/4 inch, just to have enough room to grab the glue. That is a shame. Last few times I saw Jerry, he wasn't flying, but he always did like to show up. I think the last I saw him was at Brodex, and we talked about Japanese tissue. I ended up finding my Japanese tissue, the few pieces I have left, and that's what I'm going to do the fuselage in. I was going to use carbon, but now that I found the Jap tissue, do the fuselage in Jap. Ah, come on. Rock hard stuff. Come on. There we go. Okay. I think Billy would probably have a heart attack if he saw me putting this extra piece in there, but that's okay. It ain't his airplane, it's mine. I think I want to cut that out. And we'll cut that out and put a piece of 1/16 in there to extend that from the bottom of that up. Well, I thought I was going to get on the canopy today, or the cockpit today, and maybe I'll get there. I don't know. But these are just so many things I got to do. I have one more day to work on this before going to Cleveland. And if I get it together, I'm going to take it and show Billy how I modified his design. And I'm going to see what he has to say. I also want to show him that propeller. Because make no mistake, Billy is the man. He's 80 years old. He is funny too. Okay, so we got that. I guess I could use this to box it off. I don't know. Might as well make it bulletproof. I think we'll use this saw to cut that. It was pretty stout stuff with that dull knife. Just eyeball it here. Okay. I had broke that out on accident, putting the push rod in there because it's so tight. Okay. It can't be right. But it is. It must be at an angle. So we'll just cut it like that and sand it straight. When in doubt, sandpaper's your friend. Well, that's straight there. Let's see here. Yep, that's it right there. Is that going to clear? Yep. You'll notice that every time I'm doing something back here, I'm making sure there's no binding. There can't be any binding whatsoever. I've seen guys' airplanes where the flaps are hitting the fillets and the elevators are rubbing the sides of the fuselage. You cannot do that and not have a good flying airplane. So that boxes that pocket in right there really well. And we'll get this last piece in here. So for very little extra weight, I've added an extreme amount of strength back here. And I hit it with the kick-o. Okay, now I got to look at the top to see where these bulkheads line up. So forward of that. Yep, it needs a 1/4 inch strip over each one of those. Okay, so to do that and do it easily, we're going to use, here's a 10-gram piece. This is a 10-gram piece of 3/32. That's like 4-pound wood, so that's what we want to use. And I'll set my stripper to 1/4 inch, and I just eyeball it. We're not building a watch; it's not that critical. 1/4 inch, 3/8, somewhere in there. took a good side of it, straight grain. I need to get a good blade on these because I need to get the fits perfect. I think we'll make the canopy or the cockpit floor out of this 10-gram piece of wood here. Yeah. Yep. So let's get a new blade on this scapule. Actually, this is a good blade, okay. Well, that'll make a lot of people sad. Jim the pie maker, Jerry the pie maker. I could use one or two swipes of sandpaper on it. You don't want to force it. This is like putting a cap strip in. You want it snug, but you don't want to force it. If you really wanted to add a whole lot of, I don't want to do it though because I don't want to add a lot of wood, but I have done it. You X these, run up this way, and that'll keep the fuselage from twisting. But all I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get the top and bottom bulkheads to become one, like an egg, because the strongest thing in nature is an egg, and that's the shape of this fuselage, an egg. And the top will get white glued on. If I get the floor in it tonight, might. And we got 33 minutes in. I doubt I get that far tonight. Well, this blade is dull. Dull, dull, dull. I thought it was sharp, but it ain't. And I've told you guys this before, and I don't know why I keep trying to do it to get away with it. I try to cut cross grain with a knife on camera. I've done it several times, but you really shouldn't. You should always saw cross grain. You can strip grain wise with a blade, but you probably should saw crosswise always when you can. This is going to make it incredibly strong. But we're not building it to crash, so get that out of your minds. I've seen Windy builds, he's got a bulkhead every inch. There's absolutely no need for that. You want to build the strength in with engineering, not with lumber. The reason for a geodesic wing, good evening, Mark. The reason for a geodesic wing is not to look cool. It's for strength, because any angles, opposing angles, is a lot stronger than parallel objects. So, and you leave a couple of ribs out. So you're leaving ribs out with a stronger end product. My block is going to catch those. I needed to get the boogies off of there. I need to sand a little bit inside there before I put that together, so we're not going to get that together tonight. We got to get. Good evening, Alan. Evening, Mark. Evening, everybody. Well, the name of this video was cockpit floor, but we're not going to get to that tonight. I'm going to go ahead and finish out the sanding of the inside here. And I'll just, putting a cockpit floor in, it's not a big deal. But this stuff I'm doing here is kind of important structural work, and you probably should see it. A fuselage on this is 3/16. We're going to lose. I've sanded out the bottom, but I haven't sanded out the top, and I have to do this by eye. Hello, Sparky. What is the material you use for templates when cutting foam wings? Yes, I ordered phenolic. 16th inch phenolic. You can get a foot square for about, I don't know, $25. And you can polish that and put beeswax on it, and the wire just slides right over it really good. Darn, I sent one. Shoot. Darn. Hey, no problem. Okay, I got one more chance to do this. I put like 4 swipes on that, and I made it too short. Not paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay, let's try it again. Try it again. Too tight is a problem. Too loose is definitely a problem. So there's one swipe. 2 swipes. One more half a swipe. There we go. Yeah, order linen phenolic. There's a difference between paper phenolic and linen phenolic too. You can polish that edge real nice with some 600 sandpaper. Really smooth as a baby's butt. Okay. That locked that up solid. So we're not going to have any vibrating, any harmonic business going on with the stabilizer. Hello, Emilio. Buenas noches. When these big motors are running with big propellers, I was running a 1545. I'm going to run a that 4-bladed 14.5 on it, and hopefully get it balanced and true. But the 2-blade, you could see the harmonic balance. You could see this thing vibrating, and the prop was balanced, but there's so much, I don't know, harmonics in this thing, and it caused a few. Warren Tehart allowed me. I brought 2 Thunderbolts to the Nats one year, and I thought somebody stepped on my stabilizer. It had cracked both sides, right around there on the first one, and that was Thunderbolt number 2. Number 3 still lives in Las Vegas. I think Joey hasn't crashed it. I don't know. Anyway, number 2. And I said, Warren, can I fly my other airplane? This is after appearance judging. And they both looked pretty close to the same. And he said he gave me permission to fly that, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to change airplanes in the middle of the stream. But I have no chance of winning anyway. And Warren was nice, because I am not, just like I did with my June RXL when Jerry poked a hole in my leading edge. I'm not going to make a field repair on a nice airplane. I will take it back, sit it down, and think about it, how to repair it so that you can't tell. Anyway, it had cracked all these things in here. So I cut it from the bottom. I cut a hatch in the bottom, and I belted it like I showed you here. And that fixed that airplane. Well, how I figured out what was doing it was number 3 did the same thing in the same spot. I said, holy moly. So everyone I built after that has the belting in it up front. These are things you learn as you build them, I guess. So we got a good, it's pretty damn solid. But I need to get in here with some sandpaper and sand the inside of this pipe tunnel. You can't see it. That's not the it's not the issue. It's that this is 3/16, and we don't want to carry around all that extra weight. So I'm going to sand a wallow in here with some 80 grit. You know, what would my channel be without you coming on here and seeing me sand? and the real sanding hasn't begun yet. The real sanding begins when I start finishing. Take this scoop off. I don't know that I'm going to put that on or not. That's the turbocharger scoop, simulated. The problem with this airplane is I'm using a PA-75, and the pipe length is way long, and it runs right into the turbocharger, so I'm going to have part of the turbocharger in the pipe tunnel. And the weenie for the pipe is going to have to stick out the turbocharger. Okay, if you could see what I just did there, I've hollowed the inside of this spot out here. I created a cup inside here, and there's a lot of sawdust down in the bottom of this. I gotta glue this on. You can't go too much because you got to sand the outside yet. So this is just a guess. It's an educated guess because I built so many of these. And you think, well, what could that save? It saves, I mean, you got to get every bit that you can out of it. Because this thing's a monster. And if I make 64 ounces, I'll be surprised. I've got 22 ounces of hardware to carry around. The pipe, the prop, the tank. That's a huge disadvantage. The Fox 35 days are over. What makes this so strong? Eggshell. We only have a 9-inch nose and a 16-inch tail. Now, the tail's not real long on this, but if you don't sand out, get all the weight out of it that you possibly can out of the tail, you'll end up tail heavy. And you end up tail heavy, you have to add 2 ounces of nose weight, and you just killed yourself. So for those who have followed my channel and followed my builds, I've basically given you all the secrets to build a light airplane. And anybody that tells you that light doesn't matter doesn't know what they're talking about. I don't care if they're a national champion or whatever. They got no clue what they're talking about. They say, oh, it don't matter what it weighs. The heck it don't. The only guys that say that it doesn't matter what it weighs are guys that can't build a light airplane or have never experienced a light airplane. You know, Ron O'Toole used to tell me this all the time. It's all about weight. It's all about weight. Yeah. And he was 100% right. And I could spend, see what we got. We got 9 minutes left on this show. I mean, I hate that I can only do an hour, but I really can only do an hour because I got to eat and go to sleep to go to work. But I only got about 5,000 more to go. And this terrible thing called work can take a back show. I'm going to put another 1,000 on it this week. If you don't think I'm getting anything out of it, I'm going to show you down. Hey, Mark, learned so much. Now the issue is light balsa. Yes, indeed. Well, we're going to build composites here next. You know, you got guys that are building composites, but they want to keep it secret. Well, I'm going to build composites, and we're going to make it public. You don't think I've taken out any dust? Look inside there, how much wood has come out of there. And these guys want to keep their composite. I am friends with the best composite guys in the business. Really know what they're doing. And we're gonna put out some good stuff. Because if it ain't light, it ain't worth doing. My idea for an airplane is something that you're not locked in as far as nose and tail moments and things like that. I want something that's universal. You can move the wing anywhere you want. And instead of all this nonsense that the Stinkles are using and about everybody else is building a take-apart airplane, we're going to use off-the-shelf RC stuff. Carbon fiber tube as a wing spar. So I got to call Aerospace Composites or whatever come up with some high-tech situation where I can get it light enough. That's what we'll do. Let me tell you, I went to to Jonah, and I didn't like his airplane, not at all. He had an extra. If you go back and look at the Jonah films, there's a guy in that Jonah video that has a yellow extra 300. That's a take apart. He's from Brazil. Now, it wasn't a composite airplane. It was a balsa built up take apart. But just learn it, and we had a kind of. I beamed for composites. We had a language barrier. I speak Spanish of sort, and he speaks Portuguese, which I understand nothing. About every third word I get, or fourth word I get. But we had a discussion on how it was done, and I got to look at his airplane, and it gave me a lot of ideas on how to do this stuff using RC components. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to end the video because we're up on our hour. I'm going to eat dinner, and after dinner I will continue to sand on this. And so the sanding will be done when you come back. I'll probably just glue the floor into the fuselage and glue the top on off camera. It's not that important. Everybody knows how to glue wood together. But the important part is me showing you what I'm doing to the inside of my airplane. And I do this on all my airplanes. But this one here especially, because it's 3/16 size, and to be honest with you, the 3/16 I had there was almost 6 pound wood, so it wasn't the best wood, but it's all I had. So don't go too far on the top here because I still got to round that over. And if I happen to cut through it, I'll have to scab a piece in there. We're going to remove about 50% of that. So I got to stop there. I can't go no farther on that, or I'll have it ruined. Let me get the vacuum and clean this out. Now, if you were here, you would see that this is 80 grit sanded cross grain. There's some hair sticking up there. I'm going to come back with 180 and smooth that out real good, just to make it structurally stronger. But I won't do that on camera. See, we're going to lose that 50% of that ridge, so I can't go no farther, or else I will have nothing to sand on. Yep, that'll make it real strong. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and share. Remember, this weekend is Cleveland. Not going to be any Saturday at John's or any of that business. It's going to be the Cleveland meet. And I'll try to get a few videos of flights or what have you. If you can, go to Stun Hanger and hit the support button so I can buy some bandwidth. Because that part kills me. I wish my phone would take video without being connected to the internet, but it won't. I know there are some carriers that do, but mine won't. All right. Thanks for watching. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya. Keep building.